Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance, we are the future of crypto.
Good morning, everybody. We are live, back for another episode. Wanted to jump on and just catch up with everything going on in the markets. We were in Vegas last week for the HEX meetup, PulseCon, whatever you want to call it, and it was amazing. Had a fantastic time meeting everyone out there, networking. Just so much is going on in the bear market, and it's just stuff that you love to see. I mean, the community we have is by far the, I would say, biggest, most diverse in all of crypto. I mean, we went to another party out there, the Sologenics party, and it was great. It's the same energy as the HEX community, except it's just they're like a year behind us. The first meetup we had last June, I would say that's where these other communities are. So we're light years ahead. And I brought one of my friends that had never been to a HEX party to the Cabana party, and he just said he's never seen anything like it, community-wise, and just the amount of energy and just positivity there was phenomenal. So it was a great time. What's up, Tin Top? Thank you for stopping by. Vegas was just unbelievable. The golf tournament was fantastic. You know, Black Hexagon, Caitlin, Crypto Sparbuck, you know, the whole crew, the discourse and the ladies of HEX, they crushed it. Unfortunately, we had like a heat wave out there, but everyone didn't finish. It was a great time though. And definitely looking forward to what we have coming up next, which is going to be the HEX Cruise in April. And I cannot wait for this. Suzanne put together an amazing fashion show. And the stuff that everyone wore is going to be put in display on the strip. And NFTs are going to be made of everything. So you know, we're making history as we go. So it's awesome. So April 24th is going to be the HEX Cruise. I think the deposits right now, it's like $100 a person. And I'm definitely going to be going, you know, just for everyone to be in one spot. What's up, Erwin? Man, I wish you could have made it to Vegas. Hopefully you can make it to this one here in April. I mean, just getting everybody together. That's what's special about this community. You know, when we stayed at Resort Worlds, and every time we went down to the lobby, there was someone there wearing a HEX shirt or Pulse chain. And even a lot of the people that weren't even in HEX or Pulse, you know, the guys that won the golf tournament, they didn't even know what HEX and Pulse were, and they got onboarded there. So to see that almost 3/4 of the people that came out to the golf tournament weren't even in HEX and crypto even was fantastic. So, you know, we'll see. The lift, yeah, I don't know what it is right now. I know for us, all it is a positive proof of a negative test. So hopefully it stays like that. I think it said it. She posted, yeah, right here. Vaccination not required. Testing leak mandatory, except I guess from North America. I don't know for Europe, but definitely look into that. You got to go. I mean, this might be. It's good that this isn't in Vegas because this can kind of be a family thing. You know, I've been on this boat before, and it's great. You know, the kids can do their thing. They have the kids clubs and stuff to do for them during the day so we can have fun and network like we all do. So definitely looking forward to this. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. April 24th. So you can just go to hexcruise.com and all the information's right there. I think there's 2 stops in the Bahamas. Yeah. Day at sea, in both of the Bahamas, which is perfect. And we'll come back. So a little 4-day getaway in April for us up here in New York. It is starting to get cold already. Waking up in the 50s out in Vegas where it was 110. Man, not looking forward to it, but this is going to be great on the cruise. And they should just switch this to crushing on day 2 and then be epic. So let's get into the reason we're here today. There's going to be plenty of hexagons there, Erwin, for sure. I mean, I know everyone's already talking about it. Everyone was talking about it out in Vegas last week, so it's going to be epic for sure. And it's not expensive. I mean, I don't know if she was able to work out deals, but for 2, the cheapest room was like $750. And then obviously you got to tip the room staff and your waiters and stuff, but it shouldn't be that bad. So, if the market continues to stay like this, it's not going to be pretty for the overall populace, but us Hexicans, we're in a little bit of a different position. We got so much happening with Hedron, and we met, man, I can't even tell you how many projects, Power City, Mintra, Pulse Pot. There were so many people out in Vegas, and to meet these guys in person, it's one thing seeing them on stream and talking to them, but when you meet people in real life in person, you just, that first impression, and you could tell if you're good at reading people, and everyone out there felt like they had good intentions. Everyone is trying to do stuff that they believe in, make projects that are successful, not to make money, but because they're passionate about it. Obviously, money has to be made, but just in general, everything that's going on is awesome. I'm not going to name names or anything, but the other communities just don't have the development we have. I mean, we really are, a year ahead, like socially, of what we're doing with the communities, because that's where everything is going. Everything is going towards community-driven and kind of smaller little niches for sports, movies, entertainment, anything you like is going to be kind of NFT clubs, I think, for those things. And, so I lost my train of thought. I'm reading all the comments here. Sorry, I got to stop, Erwin. But, we got a Pulse launch in the end of the year, if not January, February. I mean, the ETH merge just went through, and, the price did nothing. And fees aren't going down. And I just don't think anything good is going to happen. This is going to be a massive sell the news event. ETH, it gets clogged up. When you have releases like the Bored Apes that completely stop the network, that's a problem. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be a progression. It's steps and baby steps along the way. It's going to be years till they're finished, but we might get some more free coins with this fork. So we'll see, who builds out what front ends, if exchanges are even accepting the fork or the copies. But we all know what's going on in our community. But switching it up to Do Kwon, they got an arrest warrant out for him, which is great. I mean, this guy is just, look at his face. I mean, just an awful person. I mean, bankrupted companies. I mean, just the overall, people that don't know what they're doing in the bull market, they just buy into anything. And so many people probably got wrecked. And it's good to see that there's arrest warrants out for him. And you can't just, run and hide. Got JP Morgan also hiring former Microsoft executive for its digital assets payment group. This is something that I kind of wanted to touch on, that is just a general trend in the markets. The major players that are in the game now, they are not going to give up their positions. They want to be front and center of the new system of crypto, whatever you want to call it, moving forward. And they're already starting to make plays at it. What I think is going to happen is you're already seeing the lawsuits on LCX Exchange, Coinbase. It's going to get ugly. I really think Gary Gensler is going to try to make it illegal for all these DEXs to even operate. He's trying to make everybody come register with the SEC, that even including DAOs, which I don't know how that's possible, but he wants full enforcement. So I think they're going to really push for anything that you own on these DEXs are almost illegal. So once regulations come out, you're going to have JP Morgan, you're going to have Fidelity, you're going to have all these companies that are going to be legal custodians for you, where if your coins are held in Fidelity's wallet, they can legally be traded or used. But if you're holding them offline or in a hardware wallet, they don't want you to have access to them. That's why right now it's so critical for us to not keep stuff on exchanges. It can literally be taken from you anytime. And it's going to start happening. I think the Black Swan event is going to be a major hack or some kind of major exchange issue. And they're going to push for exactly this. These guys custodying your assets, all the banks right now, the same thing. Let us hold your money. Let us hold your crypto. We can do it all for you. It's way too dangerous to self-custody, to use all these decentralized exchanges. Let us do it. Don't worry about it. And that's what they're really pushing for. I think if it happens, we'll see. There's going to be a lot of pushback on the legislation. And we'll see what happens. But, these guys, Fidelity, Schwab, right here, they're launching their new EDX markets, EDXM. The exchange is described as a first of its kind, designed with a promise to offer safer, faster, and more efficient trading. It aims to eliminate expensive bilateral settlements by netting and settling trades through its blockchain network. So these guys, I'm telling you, they're going to push for this whole crypto system to just kind of change hands. FTX is making major moves right now to try to buy Celsius and Voyager. And we know that they are taking over the crypto atmosphere. I believe they partnered with Coinbase. Grayscale partnered with Coinbase. But FTX, he was Biden's biggest donor to the last campaign. So this is just something to keep an eye out on. I really do think FTX is going to end up acquiring all of Voyager's assets for pennies on the dollar. I actually had an account on there. I didn't have any money in it, but I'm getting all the emails still from them. And all of the assets right now are being offered for pennies on the dollar. Right now, you can take like 10 or 15 cents, or you can wait. If you had assets on there, they sent you a sheet with all of them listed. You had a couple options. So it's going to be interesting. And also Robinhood, keep an eye out for them. I really do think Robinhood could be something that is bought out by a Fidelity or a JP Morgan, and that gives the crypto exposure. But either way, these guys are making the moves. Fidelity launching their own exchange. They're going to try to push out everything that is decentralized right now. So, we really need to fund the right politicians like we're doing in the HEX community. It really is so important, because this legislation is not good. They're trying to drop the hammer down, and there needs to be people that fight it. And there are, and hopefully we can fight the good fight. And we need legislation. Okay, it has to happen for all the money to pour in. It just can't be crazy. I don't think the United States can afford to let this opportunity slip with everything happening in China, Russia. They're all coming together to kind of, the BRICS nations go against the dollar. So keep an eye out on that. It's something to look out for. And, this was an interesting article. It's old, but Michael Barr is now at the Fed, and he was a Ripple advisor for years. Rosie Rios, who was on every dollar bill right now, same thing, working for Ripple ties. So we all know the CBDCs are coming. It's inevitable. And there's two companies that are at the forefront right now of it. And when you start seeing Hyperledger, start thinking XLM, Stellar. They're made Stellar, I'm going to start calling stealth, because everything they're doing is so low key, you don't hear anything about it. You just see little things, Hyperledger, little blurbs here. They test piloted the Bahamas Sand Dollar. They're working with Starlink. You see little nuggets here and there, but just keep that in mind. Hyperledger equals XLM. So now the Bank of France and Nigeria are among 8 new members announced by the Hyperledger Foundation that will be trialing their CBDCs launching live on Hyperledger. So this is actually up and running. Oh, yeah, that's right. Nigeria is up and running. Okay, I'm confusing it with India, who is also talking about their CBDCs. But this is great. I mean, we are super bullish here on the ISO coins, ISO 222, the standards that all businesses are going to have to abide by. If not, you're going to get hit with massive carbon taxes or carbon fines. I don't know what they're going to name it technically, but it's the green initiative. We're seeing it big time. The ESG model, you hear that a lot. So the whole green narrative is going to be the reason they shove all this through. Bitcoin's burning up way too much energy. Europe right now, look at electric and gas prices. It's through the roof. So these things are only going to get worse. So they're almost creating the problem so they can usher in the solution that is already waiting, ready to go. And from the research that we've done, it's Ripple, Stellar, and Hedera who are behind the CBDCs. So this article came out September 1st. What is the digital rupee? And it starts talking about the CBDCs right here. What's a central bank digital currency? The present, what the future is going to look like. And I'm not going to go through all this, but the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, says 80% of central banks are already researching CBDCs. That means they've been doing it for years, that they're ready to launch. They're ready to go. If they're already live in Nigeria, in the Bahamas, and other countries, they have to be ready to go live in these other countries. It's just, when are they going to be needed? When is the economy going to get to the point where they need to usher in the new solution, because inflation's out of control, stagflation, whatever you want to call it. Things are not getting any better. If they print more, hyperinflation. If they raise interest rates, it cripples the economy. So the Fed right now, they're in a lose-lose situation. So it's only a matter of time. But just a couple of things I wanted to touch on here is, when you scroll down through the article, it was obviously, what is the digital rupee, and come down all the way at the bottom, and they actually name right here the path to mass adoption. And CBDCs need proper management and infrastructure. A resolution system has security compliance auditing process, with Hedera acting as a publicly verifiable log of transactions for CBDCs that live in a permissioned blockchain frameworks. Banks that layer customer service on top of that payment layer can trust and verify that transaction information is accurate. So right here, they're telling you that Hedera is basically going to be the public ledger that these banks use for CBDCs. It's going to be Ripple and Hedera that are working with the CBDCs to run them on their ledgers, and then Stellar is working with the micro settlements and MoneyGram and peer-to-peer transactions. So keep an eye out on these three coins. I know they haven't done anything. The charts look horrible, but that's when you buy, that's when opportunities are there. You don't buy when coins are going up, that when they're pumping. You buy coins when they're going down or they've capitulated and they're consolidated and they're ready to start their next run. And Stellar, Ripple, they never reached their all-time highs in the last bull run. So I really think once regulation comes in a couple months, you're going to start to see cryptos really start to decouple from the overall market. Everything's not just going to follow Bitcoin. Well, I really think that XRP, XLM, Hedera, the actual coins that are being used and have utility are going to start to thrive. I was looking at the Hedera testnet, and there was a 2,400% increase in transactions on the testnet. And I know they're working with Atma.io. They're working with the Coupon Bureau. They're working with these massive companies for supply chain stuff. So each product, say this hat right here, from the time each one of the materials is sent, it's made and shipped, that's going to all be tracked from start to finish on these ledgers. And I was reading it's going to be 20 to 50 transactions per item. And just think of how many shipping containers are on the oceans right now. And I know for a fact a third of them are going to be running on Quant's Hyperledger. So Quant and Stellar are Hyperledger, those two. And Hedera is taking the retail side of it and using their ledger for that. So a lot of stuff is going to start happening. Real life utility is starting to come in real life, and it's going to start happening as soon as regulation happens. I mean, we're now almost into Q4 of 2022. So I really think, the next 6 months, we're going to see some major changes and legislation's going to come, and they're really going to start cracking down on these decentralized exchanges. They do not want you owning your crypto. They want you to scare you right now into selling and panicking, saying, you know what, this stuff's all going to be banned. It's all going to be illegal, and dump it and get out. And then in 2 years, when the price is 50, 100 times higher, and all these institutions legally are owning these assets, they're going to want to sell them back to you. So I just think the writing is on the wall. When you sit back and start looking at this stuff every day, you start to see the bigger picture and you start connecting dots. And it's really the picture's starting to be painted, at least for me. And I want to just share that with everybody. There's no reason to hold stuff, to myself when, I want everybody else to thrive and grow and, do well in this atmosphere. And right now, when you're staked in HEX, like I'm 99% staked, I'm not going to lie, it gets boring. Hedron is great. The new project Sacrifices, it's great, but I'm at heart a little bit of a degenerate. So I like to mess around and I like to see and just know what's going on in other communities. So when I go meet with somebody who's new to crypto and has a portfolio, and they have Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they bought some Chainlink, and they want to diversify, but they say they have, oh, I don't know, I was looking at Polkadot, or I was looking into Polygon. What do you think about those? I need to know or have an understanding of what these coins are, so I can actually help. If I don't know these projects, it doesn't do any good to my clients. So, I'm here looking at everything that's going on in this entire ecosystem. And exactly, since Hexicans are bored and they need buttons to click, or they need a mute button or like a timeout button. Because when you grown men arguing on social media, it's sad. It really is sad to see. There's no reason for it. If they knew about Hedera, if they knew about Stellar, they own MoneyGram right now. Ripple bought MoneyGram in 2018 or 19 before they got sued by the SEC for $50 million. And that was the true pilot for them for cross-border transactions and instant settlement. And it brought MoneyGram's year-to-year transactions up 160%. And Ripple then sold it, and Stellar bought it. I think they might own a little bit of it, but then they get sued by the SEC. So how can you go and sue them after you just approved them of buying MoneyGram? So it's just so funny when you see this stuff from we're just sitting back looking at it. But yeah, back to Hedera. I mean, there's just so much going on here with the CBDCs. They're lightning fast. The test net is flooding with somebody. If it's the Coupon Bureau, Atma.io work with 6 of the 20 biggest retailers in the world that for clothing, electronics, all that. LG, they just partnered with Hedera to launch their NFT collection. So when you buy a new TV in the future from LG, it's going to be connected to these ledgers. And you're going to have an NFT for your TV that everything you buy in the future, I think you're going to have an NFT receipt for. Instead of a receipt where you check out at the counter, you're going to get an NFT sent to you. You'll go to the store, take your phone. Oh, I want to buy this hat right here. You can go and you'll be able to scan the hat, check out where where it's from, where it was made, all the materials, everything, verify it's not fake. And then you'll be able to purchase it with your dollars or whatever right off your phone. I really do think you'll get an NFT back as a receipt showing that you purchased it, so you can show it off somewhere. That's going to be the future, is your digital flex. I mean, people right now care more about their digital selves or their online profiles than in real life. And it's obvious because filters wouldn't exist. I mean, when you take a real picture of yourself and you change it all up to make yourself look like this, whatever, you're doing exactly what's going to be in the metaverse. Basically, you're creating a digital profile of yourself. So it's so exciting what's going on with this whole industry. And I'm not here to hate on any bags. Obviously 99% of these coins are not going to exist in 5-10 years, but I can go through and probably pick 20 to 30 that will be here. So for people that, say you have an IRA and, you're right now, you got it in some mutual funds getting 5-6%. You can switch that over into iTrust Capital, and, they have 25 coins-ish on here now. I did this a couple of years ago, and it was one of the best moves I've ever made. I mean, obviously, this isn't financial advice. I mean, I'm sitting here with a HEX hoodie and a Pulse Chain hat that hasn't even released, but this has outperformed my my traditional IRA, hands down. And now they have staking coming to it. So, think about this. You have, say, $20,000 in an IRA or 401k that you've accumulated, and you're getting 5, 6, 7%. And inflation is now 8.5%. We know it's way higher than that. So you say inflation, we'll just leave 8%. So you're netting a negative every year. So you need to earn at least 10, 12% to break even. And where else can you do that besides crypto? I mean, obviously you can do it in the stock market. It takes a lot more time. I mean, the dips in crypto are a lot more extreme, but the upside is absolutely, you can't compare it. It's so much higher. And this is just another way to kind of diversify if you need to hedge inflation or stuff is not performing. And then staking on here too. So you have, everything is tax free. You transfer money in. You can leave it in cash in there. You can buy gold. You can buy silver, and you can buy all the top 20 coins: XRP, XLM, Cardano, Chainlink, Polkadot, Cosmos, and then you can stake them. So I use iTrust Capital. It's an awesome company, and something to keep an eye out for if you have a 401k or an IRA that you can move, or you can it's not stuck with your company. Definitely look into iTrust Capital. I mean, I'm not, I get nothing out of it, but it's for you. This is going to outperform over the next 5 to 10 years. I think any traditional fund or small market fund, whatever you're in, equities, any of that. But one more thing about Hedera where was it? The tweet I wanted to pull up. It was just about how green they were and how fast it was. I think I might have passed it, but yeah. I mean, hey, HBAR, it's super cheap right now. I mean, it's down from 50 cents, its all-time high, to like 6 cents. And also they have staking on Stater. So Stater Labs 23 right now, the APY is dropping because how this works is HBAR has a foundation that has millions of dollars that gives grants out to companies and developers, projects, to boost the ecosystem. So, Stater was given a grant from the foundation. They have a certain amount of HBAR, and every epoch they give out 450,000 HBAR until it runs dry. So it's not like where the HBAR is coming from. It was given to Stater by the foundation, and once it runs out, your native staking is coming to Hashpack wallet, and you can tie your ledger to. I have my ledger tied to this, so I have it obviously on Stater. That's a third party. You're obviously taking some risk, but for me, if you're a partner of the HBAR Foundation, that is credible enough to where I'm comfortable locking up some of my money. The rewards are just so high right now, still almost at 24% with really minimal risk. And then once this bleeds dry in another probably 6 to 8 months, I'll send that right to my ledger, and then right through the Hashpack wallet, they have native staking in the wallet. So there's a tab right in here, native staking. That's what you like to see from your ledger, no risk and passive income coming in. It's the beautiful thing about HEX. It pays you every single day. And so does HBAR if you know how to own it properly. That's the key in crypto, is how to own it and knowing how to own your crypto. Someone just holding HBAR that doesn't know about this, say you have, it's $5,000 worth. When I first locked this up months ago, the APY was almost 160%. And I went down every day, but still at 24%. I mean, that's a great yield, especially if you think these coins are going to be around in the future. What are the valuations going to be? Once we're at a $10 trillion market cap, $20 trillion market cap, because we will get there. I mean, Grayscale alone has, I think, or BlackRock has, I think, $10 trillion in assets, something like that. Those are all going digital. So it's just a matter of time. Real estate is all going to be tokenized and going digital. So everything is going to shift over. So this is the opportunity of a lifetime right now. And yes, Saucer Swap too. So for us Hexicans waiting that are using the PulseX testnet, check out Saucer Swap. I mean, it is so fast. It is so clean. And I got into the pre-sale. I just wanted to, have something to do. It looked like a good project. You can hit the faucet every day. And, it's the same code as PulseX. So the swapping is so fast. It's 3 seconds and done. They now have, I think, almost like 40 or 50 coins now listed on here. So what they're doing is bridging over coins, chain link. So all the Ethereum coins that take forever and the fees are astronomical, you're going to be able to bridge them and then trade them on Hedera for pennies. So you see they already have the stable coins, ETH, Bitcoin, Link. And then who was it? There's another company, like it's a HeliaSwap or something, that they just launched, and that they're the second DEX on Hedera, and they're specializing in actually taking ERC20s and bridging them over to the Hedera network. I want to find what it was called, HeliaSwap. But regardless, it's another DEX, so just more DeFi. But Saucer Swap, they're the original ones. They're the OGs, and they have staking coming. I did mess around in the liquidity farms, but unless you're a whale, it's just too much volatility for me. I only have a couple $1,000s in here, so either way, if one side of the pool dumps, you just start losing coins, and I'm good on that. I'll just hold, wait for staking, and zero risk. You're holding it in your Hashpack wallet, which you hold your keys to, and then you swap and stake inside there, so you're not giving your coins to anybody. And I am a little bit nervous about holding coins on Stater here, but it is what it is. To get 25% APY, that comes with a risk. You have to be willing to take a certain amount of risk to get a certain amount of rewards. And for everybody, that's different. And, I just want to let people know that if you hold HBAR, you can stake it right now and get 24% versus just sitting and doing nothing. And that's how to own crypto the proper way, staking it. Even in your IRA, staking Polkadot. Polkadot, you don't hear much about it right now, but they're going to do a lot in the future. Polkadot is interoperable. That's what the future is going to be, interoperability. So what Polkadot and Moonbeam and Kusama, what they're doing, I really think in another year, Polkadot, you'll start to see a lot more from them. And Gavin Wood, original Ethereum developer, he's a really smart guy. And, just something that there's a certain list of coins in I trust, so instead of holding coins in a shitty mutual fund or whatever my financial advisor had me in, I feel much more comfortable in Polkadot, in Chainlink, in Ethereum, in Algorand, in XLM versus those stocks. Now, would I buy Polkadot over Pulse Chain or Pulse X? Hell no. But it's just, I'm forced to, in this portfolio, buy certain coins and, so hopefully, choose the best ones. But it is what it is. It's just everything in crypto is a risk at the end of the day. Nothing is guaranteed. But, that's why you got to do your own research. Don't just listen to me. Go out and listen to 5 other people. Do your own research. There's a lot of stuff going on in this ecosystem. And everything is really cheap right now. But again, it could drop another 50% tomorrow. We don't know. I mean, Richards thinks 11 has been calling 11K for how long now? And we could drop down at any point. I mean, we have the Fed meeting, I think Friday, it's in 4 or 5 days. So I think it's next Wednesday. So if they come in with 100 points, that's gonna just destroy the markets. And even 75 points over the next couple meetings, or actually they're off till November. So, we might see a little bit of relief till the elections. But once that's over, there's going to be another 75 or 100 points. So I just don't see this getting any better. So, DCA in, don't go crazy, and always have cash on the sidelines. That's the biggest mistake I see people do, is don't leave cash or stable coins for when crazy dips happen. Nobody knows when the next black swan event is going to happen, but you need to be ready for it. And you need to be ready for the opposite, ready for if we start pumping tomorrow. Do you have all your bags packed? So just something to keep an eye out on, or keep your mind on. Tin Top, just waiting for Pulse Chain launch, get my copies, and move into other ecosystems. 100%. And I hope we get more copies with the ETH fork here. I hear it's going to be ETH-W, the new one, and we'll see, who builds out front ends. But if there's value, and we have our ERC-20s now, we'll have them on Pulse, and then we'll have another one on Ethereum. It could be 3 different bags, that's awesome. That's what we like to see. And I know Pulse Doge staking is coming. Pulse Dogecoin. That's such a brilliant name for the reward coin. Pulse Bitcoin. Just so smart. But this coin, I think it's at like $3 or something right now. But staking coming for that. That's going to be awesome. More passive income. That's what we like to see. Buying and staking. That's what I do. I don't trade at all. Just buy and stake. Even a lot of the coins that you wouldn't even know have staking. I just bought Cetify S Fund, and it's a gaming launchpad. Sorry, I got distracted here, for the metaverse. And I didn't, it's something I had my eye out on, this Vulcan Forge and Illuvium. And I looked into all 3 of them and found out that, wow, you can stake this Cetify for 90 days. And it's like 70 APY was like 70% or something like that. You got to be logged in. I think it was high. It was either 50 or 70% for the 90 days APY. So, I went with this coin for that reason. All 3 were about the same. They're incubators for metaverse games, launch pads, whatever you want to call it. But one you could stake for 40-50%, and the other ones you couldn't. So that I went with this one. That's just an example of earning passive income versus just holding in your wallet on your ledger. These coins are all staked through my ledger. I own them. And then if you didn't know this, through MetaMask, you connect your hardware wallet. And then when you use HEX or these other dApps, you can stake through your ledger and sign each transaction. So just another layer of security. A lot of people don't know that. They just go right to MetaMask and stake directly. Well, you can put your ledger in between MetaMask and your dApp you're using. So just something to think about. But yeah, that's about all I have for today. The mark, I don't see anything positive coming. The bottom, it could be in, but I just don't see it. We're getting another raise next week with the Fed meeting. The Ripple lawsuit, it's going to be another catalyst. That's going to be a good thing for us. Hopefully some legislation, but that might even be next year too. So stay patient, stake your coins, dollar cost average, and we will see you guys on Saturday night. A HEX news with HEX Machina. He will be back. He's been busy with work and family, but definitely looking forward to getting the HEX news out there and doing that weekly again. And thank you everyone for stopping in. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you Saturday night.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance, we are the future of crypto.